What up? What up? This is Mike the Philosopher, along with Sean B. And today's topic is about Russia, Russia invading the Ukraine. What are your first thoughts on that, Sean?
Um, I think I think that's heartbreaking for those who lost
Well,
their
I can
loved ones.
barely hear you, man. What did you say?
I think it's heartbreaking for those who lost their loved ones.
Okay. Okay.
That's unfortunate that Russia chose to go about whatever it is they're trying to go about this way.
Can you get closer to the mic?
I said it's just unfortunate, the whole situation.
Yeah, it is, man. And it's I kind of I can't say I'm surprised by this whole thing. Putin is Putin. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. It's just I'm just not surprised by this. There's an article about this, and it. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, and there's a thing that this article says about Putin. It goes like this. It says, if you walk in the streets of Moscow, you will eventually smell the faint odor of gasoline. I'm not sure why that is, but it is what it is. It's an ever present in the air around Russia's capital, as it is central to the country's economy, infrastructure, and geopolitical posture. Russia's president Vladimir Putin has spelled out a nationalist rationale for his country's military insurrection insurgent into Ukraine, rather. But it is probably about protecting Moscow's energy interests. So that's really the main reason why he's trying to do this. He's trying to protect Russia's energy interests. That was true in 2014 when Russia seized Crimea, and I was a Moscow correspondent for the Wall Street Journal, for which I wrote dozens of stories about the insurgency in Donetsk and some of them Russian names I can't really pronounce, that Russia helped foment, and it remains true now. So they're saying that this is really about preserving their energy interests, man. It's saying that to understand Kremlin's motivation in regards to its smaller and relatively impoverished neighbor, the key fact to know is that Russia supplies 40% of Europe's heating fuel supplies, namely natural gas. So they really, that 40% is a lot for one country to hold a lot of, practically at almost half the natural gas in the world. And Russia does that. So they're trying to preserve that. And so that's why Vladimir is attacking. Is at least that's what this correspondent is saying. He's saying any crimps on Russia's ability to access the European market is a threat to its economy's security. I get it there. Russia relies mostly on two aging pipeline networks, one of which runs through Belarus and the other runs through Ukraine. For this, Russia pays Ukraine around $2 billion a year in transit fees. That's a lot of money. No, yeah, he's trying to. So if he pays Ukraine $2 billion a year in transit fees, he's trying to wipe that debt. He's not going to want to pay that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's probably easier to take control of Russia Ukraine and not have to pay all of that, because if he controls it, it wipes out the debt practically for everything that they, have to do with Ukraine. What do you think about that, Sean?
I think you hit the nail right on the head, and I think again that's an unfortunate way to go about trying to do business, because it's like you're trying to bully them. You're trying to say, hey, we don't want to pay our debts, we just want to attack you and say we don't owe you nothing.
Right.
That's just not.
Yeah, it says Russia is a petro state and relies on oil and gas sales for about 60% of its export revenue and 40% of its total budget expenditures. Any crimp on Russia's ability to access the European market is a threat to its economic security. So he don't want to be in a situation where, you know, he go broke. He don't want to be in a situation where, you know, he can't. I mean, it accounts for a lot of their revenues, practically 60% or 40% overall, but 60% of its sales is due to you know, oil and gas. So that's a lot. That's a lot. You got a lot riding on two commodities, and that is oil and gas. And if you're getting billed $2 billion a year just to operate, and you figure that country is probably a little weaker than yours, you know how it's done. You know what's done, colonization, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on all of that so far?
So, like, I was just trying to look up exactly where they located at.
Where is that?
Russia and the, like where geographically they located, like where they in relation to one.
Well, I mean, you know, they're pretty close together, but what are your thoughts about the him attacking them though?
That's what I was about to get into.
Okay, you can get into it now.
So like where they geographically located, obviously Russia is way bigger, and that's the one thing that I'm just looking at, like in comparison, like, oh wow. So it's really like the situation, like you said, like it really looks like this humongous country is trying to bully this smaller country and not pay their debts. And again, I just think that's really unfortunate, because the Ukraine. Well, you know, I don't know what all it ties into, who owes what or what all, but you know, the Ukraine. It looks like from what I've just seen, they share a border with Russia, and it was just a map that they had on there where the different entry points of where they're entering and you know, basically destroying the property in the Ukraine to let them know it's war. And so it's, I don't know, from the images that I saw from what's going on like right now as we speak, it's not a good picture. And it's, like I said, it's really unfortunate. Like,
yeah, because Ukraine is it's a sovereign nation, man, and Russia is a communist nation, you know. So they got two different types of governments off the bat, right? And the Ukrainians, they don't want to go to communism. They want their freedom. And Russia is like, we're gonna you know, convert y'all to communism because, you know, it's better for us, and you know, it's more people under Putin's control. You know, now what people are not really talking much about is there's another war that's going to be going down, and I don't even know if people are aware of that. And that is soon as the U.S. get involved with the Ukraine war, China is going to attack Taiwan. because they're going to figure, okay, they can't have all the resources to attack both of us. So let's stair step our attacks so that it drains the resources of the United States. And then what's going to happen is the US dollar is going to tumble, stock markets is going to crash, and we're going to go back into a recession, if not a depression. Because the Ukraine works with the US, Taiwan works with the US. Okay, especially Taiwan. Taiwan, they provide a lot of products and chips for, computers and things like that. They provide a lot of goods to the US, and in doing so, they have protection of the US. But what's going to happen is, I believe, now I could be wrong. I mean, this is just a guess on my end. So don't hold me to the fire about this. But I did hear a little birdie say that once the war starts on with Ukraine and Russia, and the U.S. is going to intervene in that, they're going to put their resources in that, and meanwhile, while they're doing that, China's going to attack Taiwan to take control of that. Because what it looks like, and I'm not saying this is it, but I'm saying what it looks like is these countries not only are trying to preserve their economies, but they're trying their best to destroy the US dollar, because they're tired of sanctions from the US going against their countries. What do you think about that, Sean?
Well, I would wonder why. I mean, and what that looks like. Like you said, if the U.S. were to apply resources in instigating or whatever they feel like they're gonna do, defend, they're gonna involve themselves is what I'm getting at. And so when they do involve themselves, what does that look like? Because we see what some of the citizens are going through right now. And it's not even the military. I mean, they kind of basically, from what I heard, what I've seen, they destroying their military because they invaded and they really applied pressure. Like, they just bull rushed them. You know what I mean? And it's like, so if we go over there and get involved, what does that look like? Because basically Putin said he's not backing down.
Yeah, Putin not backing down, and really he really can't afford to back down at this point, because he's worried that his economy is going to crash. Another thing I heard, and I don't know how accurate this is, I'm just throwing it out there. This is all satire, so for the most part, so don't take me too literally. This is not a news channel or nothing like that. But another thing I heard is that they're trying to take control of Chernobyl, the nuclear plant that melted down. Yeah, they're trying to take control of Chernobyl, probably to, I'm not sure why. I think it's still got too much radiation there. I think it's going to be radiation there for the next 100 or so years. But so I don't know how true that nugget is, but I did hear that they want to take control of Chernobyl, maybe to restart nuclear type of, build some more nuclear weapons and stuff like that. And again, do your own research and check that out to see if that's one of those things. But it's a possibility. With Putin, you can't really X anything out. You gotta look at all possibilities of what he's trying to do. I mean, some might say it's a attack on trying to gain more power, trying to save his economy, trying to build nuclear weapons. It's a number of different things that that are possibilities as far as what his motives is. Out of those three, though, Sean, what do you think it really is? Is it nuclear weapons? Is it we got Black in the house? Shout out to Black. What up with you, man?
What up, though?
What up? We talking about the war in Ukraine and Putin. And I had a question for Sean. Do you think Putin's motives is the nuclear weapons? He trying to save his economy, or he just wants more power and control of that area? What do you think of those three? What do you think his main motive is?
I think.
Be honest. Oh, my fault.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask you after. Okay, go ahead, Black. Go ahead.
No, I'll let Sean go.
All right, go ahead, Sean.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I think you hit the nail on the head by saying all three. I think all three of those things is his motive, and I think, to be honest, if he does do the damage that he's done thus far, and nobody answers to it, and the world just watches as he bombs places like that, I think that sends a real message. And so, like you said, if he does gain control of that power plant or what have you, and he has access to something that powerful, I mean, don't that make him an equal match to the United States? And so it's like, I mean, somebody who's that, I guess, radical, who's willing to, just, I mean, in 2022, you know what I mean? In the middle of a pandemic where we got iPhones, just drop bombs.
Well, we got iPhones.
Yeah, bro. Like, people walking down the street, literally FaceTiming people, and they like, yo, it's a bomb coming down on you. Like, and boom. Like, look on the videos. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy right now. And so it's like, so for him to do all of that is appalling, to say the least. It's like, yo,
yeah,
where does?
Yeah, go ahead. Where does it stop? Yeah, what I know so far, man. I mean, this is the last I checked. The last news I got was that 50 people have already died. It was 50 people who passed away. And there are hundreds that were injured so far in the war. So, it just, from day one, you're seeing a lot of casualties already, and it's a sad situation. I even seen a video of a fighter jet, and a couple was filming the fighter jet out of their window. And when they were recording it, and the fighter jet shot off a missile, and it landed like right in their yard. I mean, they started running and screaming and everything, and it was like terrifying. You know what I mean? Because obviously, if you see a fighter just shoot a rocket out at you, you're gonna be tripping, and don't nobody want to see that. That's a nightmare right there. So, that was one thing that I noticed about at least some of the footage that was there. They just got these fighters out there, man, and they just firing these missiles on even civilians, just regular civilians. So it's a sad situation for the Ukraine. And I don't even really think they have the military to really deal with, Russia. Now, so you go ahead and answer that question now, Black. What do you think it is? Is it nukes? Is it he trying to save his economy, or is he just hungry for more power? Which one of those three do you think is his first motive?
Well, I haven't really dove into. I ain't did the knowledge on it, and I'll be up front. And I admit, I ain't really did the knowledge on it. But the brief, you know, because I only go down rabbit holes, man. You know what I mean? I don't go for the surface stuff that everybody is being spoon fed. You know what I mean? So, but from what I did see a little bit, it seems like it has something slightly potentially to do with Chernobyl.
Okay.
You know, the whole nuclear reactor that was over there in Chernobyl and getting access, you know, to that. You know what I mean? Now that some of it has been cleared for, you know, you can gain more access over there now. I don't know what the point of it is, his motives, you know. I don't really know, you know, but to me it seems like, you know, he knew something. He's privy to some type of information. And it's just my opinion. I don't have no rock solid foundational evidence to you know, validate this. It's just my opinion. I think he knows something. I think he knows how to weaken America. I think he, you know, has had enough meetings. I think dude is a strategist. He's ex-KGB. He's very high level. He was a high level spy, you know, for the Russian army military back in the day. He was within feet of Kennedy several times in photos. Dude is he's master at espionage. I think he's a well thought out marksman. He didn't get to be, you know, I forgot how wealthy he is. It's more than 20 billion.
He's a billionaire.
He more than 20-30 billion dollars. Dude is up there as far as well. He's one of the richest men on the planet.
Yeah.
You know, and he didn't get there, you know, by being stupid. So he knows he's not just gonna win a war with the United States, flat out. He knows that. Just toe to toe, straight up. Nah, he ain't finna do that. So he's a well thought out type person, and he gets a lot of information before he makes a move. So I'm just saying, just me doing a little bit of knowledge on him back in the day when Trump was in office, I was like, who is dude? You know what I mean? And I started looking into him, and this cat, man, he was a spy. You know, he gathers information. So if he's gonna go to war with you, he got the drop on you. So that's what made me a little nervous. I don't know what his motives are for, you know, Ukraine and all that, but I know we deploying mad people over there, mad soldiers, mad like military efforts. All the attention is being drawn over there. And this is simultaneous to the war on the virus. Declining. The virus is declining now. Soon as people start feeling like they can let their hair down, they breathe a little bit. Let's take the mask mandate. You don't have to wear a mask no more. We say you don't have to wear one, you don't have to wear one. People starting to, yay. You know, I even heard, and this is a side
mandates is only in one state now. I don't know what state that is, but they're gone all over the U.S. except for one state.
And this is kind of just.
Oh, can we fly?
In my mind, this is just in my mind ironic, but I haven't even validated it's true yet. Have you heard that the Queen of England died? Have you heard that?
No, I knew. Did she?
I don't know. This could be breaking news. I don't know.
No, she was sick. She was sick. I haven't heard she passed away.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna say for sure that that's true, but it was like two different sources confirmed that she done. Like for real, she done. So, but I don't know. I haven't validated that. I was just trying to see if y'all had some more more information on that.
No, she was
But
sick, saying she can't move, and her joints and everything. She had guests come to the house, and she said she couldn't move. She was too stiff to even walk over there and greet them and stuff. So
yeah, she almost 100. I mean, but
yeah.
but at any rate, that was just an ADD moment. But yeah, I'm thinking if dude is doing that, it's for a strategic reason, and if every other nation, you got powerful nations getting involved, that and they've had backdoor meetings, mind you. You know what I mean? They consulted with one another and came up with a consensus that we're gonna do this, that, and the third, and we already know how they gonna move. United States, they're gonna divert their attention over here. This is gonna happen. Blah blah blah. It's strategy stuff.
Right now, this is what I was telling Sean before you joined us, is that it's a strategic move for Russia to attack Ukraine, and while all the U.S. deploy resources to Ukraine, China is going to attack Taiwan. Okay, and they're gonna attack Taiwan to attack Taiwan and turn that communist, because we get a lot of our chips and everything and a lot of our supplies. That's a big supply chain right there, Taiwan. So we get a lot of our stuff from there. So what China want to do is cut them off and make them part of China. I mean, they were already sort of warring in over in that area already. But with Russia attacking Ukraine, I think China is going to try again to attack Taiwan, because it's going to drain the U.S. resources. And I think the goal also is to both gain control of Ukraine, gain control of Taiwan, and simultaneously kill the U.S. dollar and really just drive the U.S. economy into the ground. What do you think about that?
That sounds very plausible. That sounds real plausible. I'm not hip to the Taiwan angle,
Okay.
that being like, nemesis or nothing like that to China, so I'm not up on that. I can't really speak on that. But the dollar, oh yeah, you can forget it. You can forget about that.
Yeah, I'm noticing stock markets is already lowering. I'm not saying they're crashing. We've seen Bitcoin take a dive too. One of y'all got some echo in the background there. It's probably you, Black. But we've seen some of these markets already take a dive, man. The stock markets, the Bitcoin, everything. And I think that really it would make sense to try if you're a communist country and you're trying to destroy your biggest competition, which is America, because look, China and Russia have a good relationship because they both sort of think the same. You know what I mean? They both have the similar governments. So it would make sense for them to kind of team up and then say, okay, if we want to try to take over everything, maybe we should work together to destroy our biggest enemy, which is the U.S. Now, Putin said that nobody better interfere with this war between him and the Ukraine, Russia and the Ukraine. He said if they do, they will see consequences they have never seen in their life.
Yeah,
almost
in their history.
Yeah, in their history, almost threatening, like as if he got nukes or something.
Well,
which he probably
this
do.
is, and that's Russia, man. They used to have they used to be about that life when they was with the Soviets.
Russia technically is tight. They just as good as, I mean, as far as having smart scientists and engineers and things like that, and being very worthy as far as war wise.
They first world as far as weapons and warfare. They first world.
Exactly. I mean,
So,
a lot of that stuff was even, it was Russian. They just got all of that stuff. So go ahead.
so Biden did it. He had a press conference and he said, "Nah, we gonna hit y'all with this paperwork. You know what I mean? We're gonna let everybody know that y'all can't do this, that, and the third no more, and we freezing your accounts as far as we're concerned. You know what I mean? And we holding assets $1 trillion.
But here's the thing, though, Black. They did do that. They did do sanctions. I seen someone ask a pretty good question to one of the reporters, and the question was, okay, so you could put sanctions on Russia. Well, why can't you put sanctions on Vladimir Putin himself? And the answer was, because we don't know where his money is. We don't. He hid his money so well that we don't know what's his and what's not. So they can put sanctions. This is why they don't care about sanctions. This is why Russia don't care about sanctions, because the money ain't in the country's account. The money is probably in Putin's personal account, where he, got some safe haven accounts or wherever. Maybe he got an account in China. Who knows?
Of course.
You
These
know,
dudes and billionaires don't just sit their money right there, Like, he ain't paying no taxes. You know what I mean? Like, people at that level do not. Taxes are for slaves.
Right.
It's for your privilege to exist and function in a world that don't belong to you. You know what I mean? When you at that level, elite level billionaire status, man, you own it. You are owner. You know what I mean? You got stake. You got say. You know what I mean? You don't pay taxes.
Right.
That's for us, ratting and crumb snatchers. That's for us. So I'm saying that like, how I'm saying that, but literally, these cats, he got an offshore situation. I almost know it, because all these cats play the same game. They know each other. It's like when you coming up in AA as a basketball player, you coming up through the ranks, and you getting your skills up, and you meet other ballers. And these cats, they start to know your strengths and weaknesses. You know what I mean? As you growing through the ranks, you get to the collegiate level, and people, you getting your name up. Everybody know, oh, that's him. He dropped out 25, and this and that. And then you starting to get looks, and now you done made it to the big league, and you running things now. You got that big boy contract. Guys know what you're gonna bring to the table, though. Is what I'm saying. They've studied you. They know you, so they know what it is with Putin. They know he play the same game they play. So they got their money offshore, so they're not going to pull that.
So with all that said, man, what do you think is going to be the end result to a lot of this stuff? And you too, Sean, you can chime in. What do y'all think is going to be the end result to this? Is this going to be World War III? Is this just going to be something that, quickly goes by and we all, will get over it, we'll shake hands and go to our own separate corners? Or do you think that it's going to be somewhere in between the two?
I'll let Sean answer that first.
What is that?
Where do you think this is going to end up? World War III? Sorry, I was playing. Shake hands and everybody go to their separate corners, or it's going to be something in the middle? Sean B. Did you hear the question? Never mind, man. What I think is going to happen is, I think that what's going to happen is this is going to be one of those situations where I think this could be pretty big, man. And I will have to say, I will probably worry more about this than I did with Obama. I mean, I'm sorry, not Obama, Osama bin Laden, because Osama bin Laden Even though he did, do what he did, 9/11 and stuff. I think this is two superpowers of Russia and possibly China. I mean, it's not etched in stone that China is going to attack Taiwan. I just heard that from a little birdie. I think that is what's going to happen, though. But this is a pretty big problem, and I think that this is worthy of being worried about, because if we don't go into war with Russia, and we don't go into war with China, and we don't go into war with Russia and China, we could still have an economic crash. With all three of those things, man, it's all bad. It looked like it's going to be all bad. I mean, I don't really see much good coming from this at all, man.
Yeah, and man, dude, this is the times that, the spiritual people was talking about that was coming. This is, I believe, we're seeing the tip of the iceberg for what you would call Armageddon. You know what I mean? Right. This is they just turning the doorknob, the door to Armageddon. This is just the tip of the iceberg. You ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah. This is wars and rumors of wars. You know what I mean? But it's just the beginning. You know what I mean? Not to don't fear nobody and all that. I understand, because I read the book, I understand this was gonna happen. I understand where it's going, and I understand why it's happening. Ultimately, and I'm on a little rant, little pedestal thing for a hot second.
Yeah, let's go.
But
go ahead.
I ain't gonna stay too long. But ultimately, I understand that it has to come to this, because you gotta understand, man, these places, all these Russia, China, America, they have to collapse in order for the real kingdom to come, in order for the Israelites, the bloodline of the descendants of the people who came from over there and was punished all this time. 2,000 years we've been suffering. 2,000, 400. So it has to collapse. Their time has to come to an end.
Who are you talking about? The U.S.?
Talking about every single nation that benefited off the collapse of the true nation of Israel. Everybody that benefited, everybody that came to power and started calling shots and demonize the bloodline of the gods on this earth, they got to collapse. They got to go. And it looked like it's going to be terrible for everybody. And now listen, man, you got to see it from behind the matrix. You know what I mean? The matrix is painted like it's terrible for everyone. Run for your lives. No. We supposed to be cheering. We supposed to be clapping our hands. Yeah, because this is right now, this is white on white crime. You know what I mean? This is Russia, man. This is the mother of Caucasity. See what I'm saying? This is the mother of it. I'm not being directly hateful towards any individual, but I'm stating the facts right here. And if it hurts, it just, the truth does too. You know what I mean? So you got to look at it from the right perspective. It has to come to this in order for those kingdoms to fall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all of these nations is going to hate the whore. America is referred to as the great whore because you can come here and you can do whatever you want and you can serve whatever God you want. You ain't got to have no loyalty to the true and living. So you can jump over here and do this and jump over here and do that. That's whoredoms. You know what I mean? Spiritually. So it has to come to an end. It's ran its course. And the deliverance is what's going to come at the end of this. Believe it or not, deliverance. Yeah, it was 10 deadly plagues in ancient Egypt. and deadly plagues in ancient Egypt, or it collapsed. And at the end of that, we were freed. This is the same thing. History repeating itself. We got to look at it different.
Yeah. We got Kamal Risto in the house. What's good with you, man?
Know me.
Yeah.
Shalom.
Yeah, we talking about the Russia attack, man, on the Ukraine. Have you been following up on that?
Yeah, I seen the production on TV live.
Do you think that what out of these three, what do you think that Vladimir Putin is really on? What is his number one motive? Is it Chernobyl, to get control of Chernobyl, to build nuclear weapons? Is it to save his economy, oil and gas? Or is it to just gain more power and turn that country into, he wants the Ukraine to fail, because the failure of Ukraine means he can turn them communists, and it'll hurt the U.S. What out of those three, which one you think is his number one motive?
Well, whatever they doing, I don't know
You got some
what his motive
background
is.
noise too there, bro.
Okay. Well, whatever them heathens doing, they playing chess on live TV. They backwards with it, but it's all a game. I don't know what he supposed to get up out of the deal of going in there and invading that country or whatnot. But I'm following the production on TV. I see a lot of the actors. That's I was in Hollywood over there.
Yeah, you see the crisis actors.
Yeah. The people just
you can find them in 10 other videos.
Yeah, so I don't, I'm just paying attention like everybody else. It's just news, I guess, because.
Is this something for U.S. citizens to worry about, or should we just brush it off the shoulder?
They told us the body count earlier. It's only 40 people. According to the production.
40, you said?
40 in the body count. So
well, last I seen it was 50. So
50, okay.
Yeah.
Going up. They up to 137.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
So that's what I'm saying. They got to count and everything. So, it's another body down. It's okay. According to production, it's another body that dropped.
That's crazy that they went from counting bodies from the virus to counting bodies to this new war at a decline of the virus. As soon as it started, as soon as it started declining and everybody started, catching their breath, like, no, we finna ramp something else up. He's gonna invade in 2 days. He's gonna invade in 1 day. He's just invaded Ukraine. It's a countdown.
They seen them moving in there. They seen them moving troops and stuff into Ukraine, and
it's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they can see through satellite. I don't know, but
it's just how the production go from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
From terror to a virus to a war.
And at a time where Joe Biden doggone authorized $30 million for crackheads.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And this is your president.
Oh, this is I don't even know what to say about all this.
Yeah, right? But that's that's something different, man. And
no, that was the war on drugs.
But he fighting the wrong war, huh?
Yeah. I'm just saying, he listen, and this is a side. This is just think zombie apocalypse. Think that. That's all I'm gonna say. Think that zombie apocalypse. Listen, out of all the stuff that we was asking for as a community to help us at a time like this, boom, he decides to give $30 million for fresh crack pipes. Now that's what the vote got.
Yeah, I know, man, but
That's
look,
a side note, man.
yeah,
And
it's a
these people
side
finna
note.
crack out now. They're gonna crack out and they're gonna have the
You know
juice in
what?
them
With the world going
cracking
the
out.
way it is now,
Oh
man,
my.
hand me one of those. No, let me stop. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, everybody. Don't
No,
hand
it's
me a,
just-
don't hand me a pipe. I don't need that in my life. But the way this world is going, man, look, it is a pretty scary situation because you're talking about three superpowers: Russia, China, and the U.S. And with those three superpowers uneasy and at war with somebody, mainly us against both of them, really, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all. Tell all your loved ones you love them. That's how I'm looking at it, because if not a war with us, at least the economy is going to crash at the very least. I mean, even if we are all still doing okay and healthy and all that, the economy is still going to crash. I mean, the inflation is out of control already, and the markets are taking a dip all over the world. So, I mean, when you go to war, you spend money. So when you got three superpowers spending money to go to war, they're going to snatch all that money out of all these markets, and they're all going to crash. That's just at the least. So, I've heard people say, look, if you ain't got no gas in your car, you better go get some and fill up, because gas is going to be ridiculous in a minute. Gas prices, $10-12 a gallon. Just like we said in the article, you can, if you go to Moscow, you can smell gasoline in the air, because that's how they make their money. You can smell gasoline. So gas is going to be at a premium. So if you don't got, you better fill up now, and probably not go many places, because gas prices is going to be ridiculous. That's probably going to be one of the first differences that we see, is the gas prices. Then other supply chains. I mean, if we can't get in contact with Taiwan, or if we can't get supplies from Taiwan, that's major. That's major for many different reasons. Computers, they make computer chips. They make all kind of things. So that supply chain is going to be locked down. So that's going to affect the economy. Gas is going to affect the economy. We already see spike in food prices. It's just going to be, it's going to be pretty grim here in a minute. I would suggest that anybody watching, you you start taking some survival classes, or get some survival skills or something. Live off the land, because it's looking bad. I don't want to be the Grim Reaper or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, be ready, so stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready, pretty much. What do y'all think of that?
Well, this is all I got to say on it. And I'm going to end with this. Revelation 17:14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords, the King of kings, and they that are with him are called the chosen and faithful. And he saith unto me, waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth, the whore is the Statue of Liberty, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. We call it the melting pot. The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's nuclear. For God hath put in her their heart to fulfill his will. So this is God's doing. And to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. woman which thou sawest is the great city, New York, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. New York is where the United Nations is. That's the seat of it all.
So for the people in the back, do the translation, Black.
For the people in the back, it's saying the beast is America, the whore represented, by the Statue of Liberty. It's the great melting pot, the multitudes of where every language is spoken on earth in New York City. It's symbolic, but it's saying that all these 10 horns is going to come against these other nations are all going to decide that they hate her and they're going to war with her. It's going to be sanctioned by God himself. He's going to authorize it. They will prevail over her. Will be wiped out. It's not a test. It's not a drill.
So you're saying the Bible is saying that it's over for the U.S.
Ultimately. Well,
yes. Then what will be in its place? What will be like? Will we be Russia? Will we be China?
Well, they're gonna get wiped out too. And that's the cold part.
So
they're going to be.
So Armageddon really is what you're talking about.
Yeah, because none of them gonna stand. They not finna beat their chest, and they not finna come to more power and all that.
Does that mean Does that mean no life, or just no governments as they are?
No, it's gonna be ushered in a totally fresh, new kingdom. Every knee is going to bow, and every tongue is going to confess that the Hamashiach is the Lord of Lords, King of Kings, and they're gonna see him with their face. I don't know if you've been noticing, man. There's been more UFO sightings too. There's been more sightings of extraterrestrial, supernatural events occurring.
I have noticed that, man. I think these probably some secret U.S. I think they were priming up for this Russia thing, and I think those are U.S. They're not extraterrestrial. They're very terrestrial. They're from here, and I think that when in times of war, you start gearing up your secret. Like there's a lot of secret, weapons and secret, planes and things like that most of the citizens don't even know about. I mean, they knew about the stealth bomber, but that place in Vegas, I forgot the name of that camp, Area 51 or whatever, because they got exposed. But there's a lot of stuff that hasn't gotten exposed yet. So I think a lot of times when you talk about UFOs and stuff, it may be unidentified to us, but it's identified by the military. I think it's there is some. Yeah, I agree with that a lot. A lot of them are terrestrial and they're just unidentified to us. But at the same time, there is a large radiation wave coming as well. It's gonna energize whoever the elect 144,000 are. And I know I'm saying some stuff, people, if you look it up yourself, whoever is interested, look it up yourself. And it's what the 5G is trying to block. It's trying to block the 144 from receiving those gamma rays coming from the celestial realm. And that's what the frequency wave is trying to break up. Celestial? Somewhere in space?
It's extraterrestrial. It's gamma rays coming from the cosmos. Gamma radiation is just energy. You know what I mean? That has the ability to split atom. You know what I mean? But it's energy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm gonna leave it at that because I know we're running out of time.
All right, then. Thanks for joining us on this. Put in the comments what you think is going on with this Russia attack. Do you believe China is going to attack Taiwan after this? Just put yay or nay. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. And since the BMR covered it, now it's official. We'll catch y'all on the next one. And check out these NFTs that I'm deploying too. And let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. Peace.